Oh, I'm surprised again.
Acting.
Here we go!
Brothers, sisters, siblings, welcome to Penn Sunday School. I'm Matt Donnelly. Michael Godot is juggling in some weird place somewhere in the world. We are broadcasting from Show Creator Studio South, and this week, Penn has resurrected the Penn and Friends show for 2 more shows. He's also spending the weekend at SAM, which is a magic convention. Penn Jillette is purposefully attending a magic convention. Here he is preaching the love, Penn Jillette.
That's the way we preach love.
Yeah.
I was at a magic convention yesterday. What did I do? I took my son to his voice lesson. My son is auditioning for the Music Man at his school.
Wow.
And he is decided to try to audition for the lead and see what he gets.
Wow.
So he's taking voice lessons, and he does not have a natural inclination towards pitch matching. But as we know, being an upright bass player who has very little inclination for pitch matching and learned it, you can learn that skill.
Yeah.
So he's his teacher says he's singing okay. Now, of course, the big song from the Music Man is Trouble, and that's a patter song.
Yeah.
So pitch is not really an issue.
Right.
Not much of an issue. 76 trombones, not a big range. And Robert Preston, not the strongest singer ever.
No. Luckily for Z, there were plenty of people that people found very entertaining in the musical world who didn't have fantastic voices.
Yeah, I think
Mostly
he might have an okay voice.
Yeah.
But the pitch matching he has to learn.
Yeah.
And that is a skill you can learn.
Yeah.
It helps to learn if you're Chinese when you're young.
When you were younger.
Very few people grow out of Chinese. And if Godot were here, you'd be bothered by me saying Chinese.
Why, is it Mandarin or something?
No, I say Chinese in a way that doesn't please people.
Yeah, because you say
Japanese,
like niece instead of knees.
Yeah. Niece or something. I do something. But Godot's not here, so fuck him.
Yeah. He's on a beach or something.
So here's the interesting thing about the Music Man.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't sure that I'd really like it again when I saw it.
Yeah.
Because it has such important sentimental value. Because it's the only show. I was going to say the first, but really the only show I saw as a child.
Really?
You know, you're from Jersey.
Yeah.
But I did some research on the web.
Yeah.
To find out when the Numismatic Association convention was in Houston, which I believe was 65.
Okay.
So 68. So when I was 13, that was the convention we went to. And I tried to find out what touring company the Music Man was working in Houston in 68.
So what turned you on to the show before this moment?
The Numismatic Association had a wives and children thing. You'd go to the convention, and the men would go in their smoke-filled rooms and talk coins.
Oh, yeah.
And then, or whatever.
Yeah.
Coins and hookers.
Yeah.
And the women and children were sent to zoos.
Both have rare collectibles.
Were sent to zoos.
Yeah.
And we went to the Astrodome.
Yeah.
And I still remember getting a tour of the Astrodome. I was 13, which is the exact right age to be told that the Astrodome has its own weather system. It's so big. You know what I mean? Clouds and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was telling that story to my
And you
friends.
said to them, you know what? If you set up the replay system here when the technology exists, I bet you could steal signs. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I explained what the Astros should do. But no one was listening to a 13-year-old boy
Who's laughing now?
talking about 50 years of the future. They just didn't want to hear. I said, a half century from now. And my mother was so disgusted because my mother took her son to the Astrodome to see the Astros play.
Yeah.
And after I'd seen the tour of the Astrodome, which I loved, I did not care about the baseball game at all. I asked if we could leave right away. She thought taking her son to a major league baseball
you
game
think the tour is boring, the game is exciting.
would be a very big deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I have taken my kids they were still pretty young at this point, but they showed no interest in baseball yet.
Yep.
They like soccer.
Oh, there's nothing interesting in baseball.
Yeah.
So I was in Houston, and when you do conventions, at least at that time, probably still true because we're part of this, right?
Sure.
When they have a convention, with the SAM, the Side American Mission Convention, one of their things is sending people to see Matt Franco in the evening,
Yeah.
And in the past, it's been our show and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, that's related directly to the thing. I mean, there wasn't like a dancing coin show.
No.
But I remember when the convention was in San Diego the next few years, I dropped my frozen waffle in the desert. You know what I had?
What's that?
San Diego. But anyway, when we were in San Diego, we went to the zoo.
Yeah.
But they would have all day long would be trips for the wives and children. I don't know. Do they still have that in conventions? I wonder.
I don't know.
I don't know. But one of the things
It seems like that'd be the kind of thing I'd be hired to do something for.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The Music Man
Yeah.
was playing somewhere,
Yeah.
and it was the only stage show I'd seen ever.
You'd seen it before this time in Houston, or this was your first time seeing the show?
The only time was when I was 13 in Houston that I saw a live show.
But you wanted to see the show. You knew you wanted to see it ahead of time, or no?
No, I'm trying to explain this to you.
I know.
They had a wives and children event that my mom and I went to all of it.
Got it.
So, Wednesday at noon, we go and see the Astrodome tour.
So you loved baseball and musicals, and you told your dad about this.
No! They had a wives and children, women and children first, save yourselves gig where you went and saw us. We went to see the Music Man, and it was the only time I'd seen a live show.
Yeah.
Because I'd wanted to see the Music Man after I saw it earlier in spring. No, that's your story, not mine. We'd seen the movie.
Okay.
But here's the part that's very strange.
Yeah.
And I can't find any information on this because everybody's dead.
Huh.
It ripped me to pieces, really, when I watched it with my son and my family. And it ripped me to pieces because Ron Howard, the fucking well go with the coming down and no the never waiting free. He plays that part.
Yes.
Ron Howard is my age, like within a year.
Yeah.
So when Ron Howard recorded the part, he was my age. So he was 7 or 8 when he recorded it in 62.
Yeah.
Right? And he plays the little brother of Shirley Jones, who was the big sister. I looked at their ages online, and they are 20 years apart. So in the musical, The Music Man, the brother and sister are full brother and sister, 20 years apart. Okay? Same parents. My sister and I are 23 years apart. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And I was the same age as Ron Howard, which means my sister was just a couple years older than Shirley Jones.
Oh, crazy.
Okay. But here's the part that is really strange. And I never noticed this before. No one ever commented on it, nothing. But I always called my sister sister. I never called her name. I never called her Valda or Val.
Yeah.
I called her sister. She called me by my first name, Penn, and I called her sister, like you would, auntie or something.
Yeah.
Or grandma. I called her sister. And as far as I remember, I called her sister my whole life. Certainly up until her death, I called her sister. And we have cute little stories about when she took me to the expo.
What did you call her sister?
I called her sister.
But what was her name?
She didn't have a sister. Her name was Valda.
Wait, there's no sister?
There's no sister, but I called her.
And when you took her to the Astros game, what position did she play?
Who was on first? I don't know, third base. Tomorrow was pitching. Throw triple play. And I always called her sister. There's this cute little story of me being at the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Where she took me to the expo in Montreal. And we were walking around and I was yelling to her, hey sister, and there were a bunch of nuns. And my sister was trying to explain to me that I was just yelling to the nuns. They didn't know that's what I called her. But I was under the impression that, that was a very natural thing. And then I'm watching, his name is like Wilfred or something, Ron Howard's character in The Music Man. And he addresses Shirley Jones. Sister, sister. She calls him by his first name. He calls her sister, and it's the script of The Music Man. The script. It's not for the movie.
Yeah.
Their age difference and the address of sister is part of the script of The Music Man.
Wow.
Very strange. Very strange to see a 7-year-old boy who was my age, at that time, calling his older sister, sister, and their relationship being shown in The Music Man. Because that is a relationship that I have never seen depicted anywhere.
Right.
A brother and sister over 20 years apart, living in the same house, interacting. Yeah, very, very strange. And The Music Man, which I remember as being one of the only musicals I like, really The Music Man and Assassins are the two musicals I like. I found it incredibly, incredibly beautiful. I really liked it. Buddy Hackett's great in it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, that sister thing, and of course I want to call my sister and say, did you start calling me, did I start calling you sister when The Music Man came out as a movie when I was 7? Or was it before that?
Oh, interesting.
And I wanted to ask my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And they're all dead.
Yeah.
So there's nobody that has that information. But boy, when I watched The Music Man, it was very, and I couldn't get anybody.
There's this psychic on Fremont Street that I want to introduce you to.
Yes, but that's for different reasons. That's because of our plan of investing in Mercury. So The Music Man, I also did not remember, of course, this is always true about everything, crying like a son of a bitch at the end of Music Man. I was sobbing uncontrollably. Have you seen The Music Man?
I never have. I'm not that familiar with it at all.
It's a very good movie. You seen it, Ready Rich?
No.
Never really?
Nope.
It's a you know the premise of it, right?
No.
Well, it may be, maybe my whole life is in The Music Man.
Yeah.
It's a con man who comes to town to sell band instruments to the town, even though he has no musical skills at all, and he's selling the Think system. And it also has, and I was telling my son how much I liked this. And I said to my son that I thought it was a really surprising rhyme. And he said, you first saw this movie when you were 7, and the rhyme still surprises you. I said, well, it's, okay, never mind. But he is flirting, making overtures to the librarian, Madam Librarian Marion, the librarian. Yeah. That's the whole rhyme thing. And he is flirting with her loudly in the library, and the whole thing is, all around that. And he's dancing and singing around the library. And he's singing Marion, which they've named her just to rhyme with librarian.
Yeah. And
the whole song is the lines of Marion, Madam Librarian. But then it goes into the verse section, and he says, if I fell on the floor and broke my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed, till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. And the use of the word carrion makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Now, my son didn't know the word carrion.
Yeah.
So I had to explain to him why it was so funny. And I always try to make a joke about when they say, put your carry-on in the overhead compartments of airplanes.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, but nobody ever likes that joke because I don't think people know that word very well.
No, I think I only know it just probably because of this podcast or something.
I do. It's a word I like to use.
Yeah.
It's also a word Godot likes to use. Do you like the word carrion?
I do.
Yeah.
And it's actually useful in this state.
Why is that?
Because we have carrion lying around.
Yeah, we do.
Dead birds for everybody who doesn't want to look it up.
Does it have to be just birds?
Not birds.
No, just
dead animals.
Dead animals that are being fed upon by body parts of animals. So I could lie on the floor unnoticed. My body had turned to carrion. Yeah. Madam Librarian, Mary.
I'm sure my wife and my mother-in-law would be very familiar with it, and who played it and who toured with it and all that stuff.
Well, the information, if anybody knows, this is reaching out in a podcast, if anybody knows I couldn't find, because Forrest Tucker did it on the road for a while, and so did Burt Parks.
Right.
I think they were before that. But if you look at the Numismatic Association website, they have all their past conventions. It was in Houston, I believe, in 68.
Yeah.
Then you can find out, they don't have the schedule of what the wives and children did from back then.
Right.
Incompetent web work. And you can also go to the Music Man and find out when it was on Broadway, how long Robert Preston was in it, what touring companies went out. But some of the touring companies just kind of go ... like played other cities. Like Houston doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And of course, the whole thing could be a false memory because I could have maybe seen it in Sturbridge Village or something in Stockbridge, Massachusetts or something. And just remembered it as Houston. But I believe it was Houston.
Okay.
So let's face it, most New Year's resolutions are hard to keep. Get more exercise, save more money. Well, I have a resolution that's wicked easy to keep. Stop wasting time going to the post office and use Stamps.com instead. With Stamps.com, you can do anything you can do at the post office, include dance.
Yeah.
You can dance.
Yeah.
Plus, Stamps.com gives you something you can't get at the post office, big discounts on postage, which when they find out about this, they're going to sue them or something.
I think so.
Stamps.com is a long-time supporter of the show, the longest time supporter of the show.
Yes.
They've been here before we were. They have been supporters. I love Stamps.com, although I find it hard to believe that anybody that listens is still stubborn enough to not be involved in Stamps.com.
Yeah.
But if you are, they bring the services to the post office. You use it for all the scoop stuff.
I do. I use it for everything scoop related.
And it works well, right?
It's crazy convenient. It's much more
What's
fun.
the most number of things you've sent out from your home?
We sent out about 200 sweatshirts right before the holidays.
And you just call the post office?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to send out all these sweatshirts.
Yeah.
They don't say why.
No.
They don't say you bastard.
No.
They just say, okay, we'll come.
He was saying it's a lot. Basically, like, I didn't believe them when I was like, that they were like, yeah, cool. I was like, no, it's 200 sweatshirts, big packages. Doesn't fit in cars. They're like, yeah, no, we get it. And they came and got it.
Yeah, we'd send out stuff from directors, got like 5,000 things. And they said, oh, we'll send an extra truck.
Yeah.
They have an extra truck.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, if we were running the post office, someone called like that, we go, oh, Christ.
Oh, no.
But they have an extra truck. And Stamps.com, do you actually use the program and everything?
My buddy Jacob does.
Yeah, he had trouble. Jacob's not a particularly smart guy.
No. As a matter of fact, I kind of was skeptical that he was going to use the program at all.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is everybody listening to our voices right now is smarter than Jacob.
Yes.
So you'll have no trouble with the software for Stamps.
That's our guarantee.
Yeah, that's our guarantee.
That's a Penn Sunday School guarantee.
So give yourself a resolution you can actually keep this year. Stop going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk with my promo code
Penn.
You get a special office that includes 4-week trial plus free postage, and a digital scale. How can you compete with that? You can't. No long-term commitment makes it even better. No contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in
Penn.
Stamps.com promo code
Penn.
Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. I have gifts.
What is this?
I have gifts for you. Actually, Emily got these gifts, but they are for you. There's one for Reddy Rich, and there's one for you. Now, these came, I think, from Amazon, and they have the weirdest sticker on them ever. The sticker says, we opened these because a lot of them don't work. Want to read the actual wording there?
Your product has been opened and checked to assure that it is in working condition. We've come across a lot of them that haven't worked, so we just want to let you know that your product has not been used. We're just making sure that we're sending out a working product.
That's an odd thing to send out, isn't it?
Very.
Yeah.
And the length of it, the way it is attached is strange. It is like a long hand-cut piece of paper just stapled to a product.
Which I think is very likely that there is Russian chemical poisoning on these.
Yeah.
They want to just explain away.
Yeah.
What I've given them, I should tell the people listening, is a Funkenring. Is it called a Funkenring on there?
It's called a flasher.
Flash.
Great gag. A startling stage prop.
What else is on? Read the whole thing. I like this.
No batteries. Easy wind-up action. Copyright Loftus 1999. Made in China. And on the back here is directions. Hold the flasher as shown. The flash will vent out of the bottom between
Your index and middle finger.
Your index and middle finger.
Yeah.
Keep fingers away from the flash. That information seems at odds to me.
Yeah.
It's going to come out between my fingers. Keep my fingers away from the flash.
Now, here's what I'm thinking about for you. What this is, we talked about this on the air. It's a Funkenring. And what it does, it's a piece of flint and a grinding wheel that send out sparks. So you carry this with you, you wind it up, and then you touch like the elevator button.
Yeah.
Sparks fly out. You go, oh, Jesus. Now, for somebody like Ready Rich, who works in electronics at his job, this is the greatest thing in the world. Do you have it? You're set up there, Ready Rich?
My flint fell out as soon as I pulled it out of the package.
Okay, here you go.
And some other parts.
Here's another one. You got yours open and working?
Yep.
Good. These are a little key.
I got my little key.
Now, here's
by the way.
Here's going to talk to you about Matt Donnelly. I have plans for your life.
Okay.
Wind it up.
I think I'm going to double check the image, make sure I have it correct in my hand. I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Wind it up.
I'm going to wind it up.
Don't overwind it.
Don't over.
But wind it enough.
I'm going righty tighty for the winding.
Yeah, you'll be tempted to overwind it, but don't.
Okay, so I feel like it's wound a little bit.
Okay, wind till it stops, but just don't push it.
Oh, got it. I see what's going on here. Okay.
When it's wound up, let me know, because then you're going to do some acting.
Okay.
First of all, you're going to get my attention.
Yes.
You're going to say, hey, Penn, I don't know about this connection down here at the bottom of the microphone.
Okay.
And then you're going to reach for it, and you're going to hit the button and scream, okay?
So
let me see.
To be clear, hold on.
What?
Just to be clear, like, am I struck by this information, or am I panicked? Or is it just I just find it unusual?
I think you just see a frayed wire down there.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about Derek.
Oh, hold on, Penn. I think I got
what's
a,
up?
I don't know. I think I have like a weird, it's like a wire situation.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me check it real quick. Oh, that didn't go off at all.
No, it didn't. Here's another one. How about yours, Ready Rich? Wind it up. See,
The best podcast audio we've ever.
when you buy these.
Actually, visually, it's disappointing as well. Just so you know, for those of you listening, watching this is also terrible.
No. I want you to know here that sparks did not fly out of that.
Yeah, sparks did not fly at them.
No, they did not. It did not work. Are you winding up yours now, Ready?
I am.
Okay. Now, Ready, here's what I want you to do for your acting. You're the tech guy, okay? But we're going to pretend we're not here. We're going to pretend that you are sound checking a band, okay? And you walk over to the microphone of the lead singer and say, wait a minute, I'm not sure I got this mic set up right. And then reach over to adjust it. Okay, it goes in the little keyhole. As Melanie would say, I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You've got a brand new key. You know, when I was a child, someone locked themselves illegally in a radio station and played Melanie's brand new key for 26 hours until the police got in and took him away.
Really?
Yeah, that's a kind of mental illness that I miss. Who's wound up?
I'm wound up.
Okay. We're going to be talking about, Matt, you went to the playground the other day.
I did, yeah, but I'm just trying to fix my microphone here.
What's wrong?
Is
What's
it
wrong?
a wire or something? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Christ! Jesus! You're ready? You see that? Sparks! Get your hand away from it! Son of a bitch! Oh, Christ! God! Shut everything down! Hit the fuse! It was good, wasn't it?
That was great. I don't know if do they give awards for spontaneous drama in podcasting? Because I feel like we own that.
It was a good spark, though.
That was a good spark on this one. I'm keeping this Funkenring.
That's a good one. So when you buy these, when you go to buy your flasher,
Yeah.
or your Funkenring on Amazon, probably the listeners should buy 30.
Yeah. So you can try the gag every day for a month and keep back your statistics to like the 1 or 2 times it worked.
Yeah.
And
You got yours bound up?
I have an extra flint to sell you. So 29 is going to be fine.
Are you wound up?
I am.
Okay.
Man, I'm all wound up.
Hey, man, we're going to play some Van Halen. You got your, we're going to play some Van Halen. You okay for the sound check? I would need a little more of myself in the, something.
No.
Okay. There's another one. There's another one here. We'll try that. Just
You're really going for something dramatic there. It was
it was going to be really good.
that was tough. Reddy's got
Is
that.
yours? Did you wind
Yeah,
up?
I got mine. I'll see if I can give it another go.
You got one that works, though.
Yeah, that's why.
Now, here's why There's two things about this we're learning.
Yeah.
One is why we shouldn't worry about China, and two is why we should worry about China. It's the exact same reason. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very worried. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
So this scenario is...
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
good. Yeah, new
the
scenario.
is you want to reach for your coffee cup
Yeah.
and say, it's really strange that Starbucks is now using metal coffee cups, and I put it here on the speaker. Try that. So I want to talk a little bit more about the clown nose thing that we were talking about.
Are you sure? Because, like, I don't know. I'm all for making the environment better, but Starbucks is kind of driving me crazy.
What are they doing?
Like I got one of these reusable mugs, whatever, but you can't even get like lightweight plastic ones anymore. You get these heavy duty metal ones. Yeah, look, I put one.
Metal one.
Look right on top of my speaker. I have my coffee here. Right here. Let me just. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Oh my
God
gosh.
damn it. God, put it down, for Christ's sake. It's got liquid in it. Jesus. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Someone, for the love of Christ, call 911. Just see that? Jesus Christ. That was frightening. It was like lightning out of a Starbucks. Pretty good.
That's great. That was really great.
You've got one that works.
Yeah, this is
Now,
gold.
here's what I want to talk to you about.
How do you replace the flint in these? If I have one that works, this is like a unicorn.
Yeah. We replace the flint with all the other ones that...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to collect all the flints from these broken ones. I want to take up a collection. These actually...
It's like having clones for parts.
When they work, it is better than the battery-powered ones.
Yeah.
I tried to use a battery-powered one on my first Hill Ball show, and it was a really disaster.
You've got it now.
Yeah.
You've got one that works. Here's what I want to talk to you about, Matt Donnelly.
Yeah.
I want to... I'm older than you by a lot.
Okay.
And I want to impart some wisdom on you.
Oh, no.
Okay? There is a skill in magic
Uh-oh.
that I never learned. And I believe it's too late for me to learn, although I still want to try.
Okay.
It's not too late for Moxie. She's already learning it.
Uh-huh.
But it may not be too late for you.
Okay.
You may be able to do it.
Okay.
Okay? And you'll notice that all of your great magicians have this skill.
Yeah.
Mike Close has this skill.
Yeah.
Johnny Thompson had the skill. Even Piff has a skill. What they're able to do is they're able to do magic for friends in social situations.
Oh.
Really, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I really can't do it.
No.
I'm terrible.
I mean, I initially wore the rubber bands on my wrist for that reason.
Uh-huh.
Because first year people go, "You're learning magic?" I go, "Yeah." And I do the rubber band trick for them.
Mhm.
And, that was just, it was actually to get over both like magician's guilt and magician's performance thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I'm going to try to fool you right now.
Yeah.
And so I found it to be very helpful.
It's really helpful. And I have never found a way to do it.
Yeah.
I've carried a deck of cards with me
Yeah.
and have for 10 years and done a trick once.
I have had a trick loaded in my backpack for a year ago Christmas
Mhm.
that I've done for no one.
Okay.
That's sitting in my backpack. I've gone, when I first was learning, I bought like 3 different trick decks or whatever. I've gone to parties loaded with multiple decks in a blazer
Yeah, me too.
and done no magic tricks for them.
I mean, they're grateful, but it's not good for you.
Exactly.
Everybody that's great does that.
Yeah.
Mike Close,
Yeah.
I've never seen him in a room where he hasn't said, here's a little, want to see something?
Right.
To everybody.
No, yeah. I mean, I've been in the room when he does it. Yeah.
And he's fabulous.
Yeah.
Close is like the best.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
He gets all that experience.
Yeah.
And I've seen him, as good as he is, I've seen him do stuff that doesn't work.
Right.
Gets right through it.
But that's the thing, is like when you're going to go through a certain amount of times where it doesn't work or something goes weird or wrong, you'd much rather that happen in front of 4 people.
When we used to have jam sessions over at the Slammer
Yeah.
with jazz cats in town,
Yeah.
I remember the trombone player after a solo said, that's what this room is for, all the wrong notes. We do them all here.
Yeah. That's why I loved when we did that magic night together.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, this is a great place to practice. In fact, like, I believe we could do that thing again and make it more informal. Where we could do multiple attempts.
Yeah.
Tell the audience we're going to make an adjustment and try it again.
But I'm talking, ready? Can you do that? Can you do tricks for friends?
I can.
You can.
Yeah.
What advice can you give us to be able to do that?
Carry an index. So he's got an out for whatever he fucked up.
Yeah.
He's trying for the first time.
Carry an index.
Yeah.
That's the whole trick.
But no. That's like the trick to do at a party. But what's your advice for like?
No. He means every trick, the index gives you a safety net.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I understand that. I just meant that you were asking a different type of question, weren't you? Or no?
It's hard to start. It's hard to say, want to see a trick. You don't find that hard?
I don't.
What
But
you
you know,
don't.
the context is because he did table hopping for so long.
Yeah. But here's the thing that annoys me about Close.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do this.
Okay.
Don't do this. Close, good role model for one thing, bad role model for another.
Yeah.
When he tells jokes,
Yeah.
he does this thing that we make real fun of him for. He says, I was at the hardware store the other day. And you go, Close, shut up. You're not telling us a story about being at a hardware store. You're setting up a joke. You were not in a hardware store. And the few times...
my buddy RJ does the same thing. He tells jokes from the first person perspective.
Yeah, it's always that. There's a joke that I was telling in the first person for a while.
Yeah.
And it was fun to do, but it felt wrong to me.
Yeah.
It was a joke about a Muslim bookstore that had opened in a mall here, and I went in and asked for a book.
Yeah.
You say over in the over the fashion show mall, they opened up that Muslim bookstore.
Yeah.
And I was in it the other day, and I went in. I was looking. I said to the guy, there's a book against Muslim immigration in the United States. Do you have that book? And he said, "Fuck you, get the fuck out." I said, "That's the title." a racist joke.
Yeah. The only one I would tell was a homophobic joke.
Yeah.
And because I thought only talking from the first person perspective, then the joke's on me.
Yeah.
It's not just homophobic. But it was I went into a bar. I asked for a shot. They gave it to me. I drank it down. I said, "All right, give me another one."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You finish the rest.
Oh, okay. And I said, go ahead and just give me 4 right in a row. Set them up, and I go, boom, I take them down. Boom, I take it down. Boom, I take it down. Boom, I take it down. The bartender's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? I go, well, actually, I'm celebrating. I just experienced my first blowjob. And he goes, oh, well, let me get you a 7th shot. And I go, honestly, if 6 doesn't get rid of the taste, the 7th won't do shit. Yeah. I regret telling that joke.
Yeah. Well, it's a joke to many, many people.
Yeah.
It's not like you wrote this homo.
No. I was sitting at home after blowing a dude. I wonder if I could turn this into material.
Also, one of the things is a lot of those jokes, like homophobics and racial jokes, it's not that just you get in trouble for telling them, which you do.
Yes.
It is also that it's no longer funny.
That is actually what happened midway through the joke. I was like, oh, this isn't funny at all.
Yeah, no.
And it's been a while since I've ever done it.
You have to have a built-in cultural disgust for that joke to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's although I guess you could do it heterosexual, couldn't you? Exactly. No, you couldn't. Hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's funny because there is an area for instance, I still very much love telling child molester jokes, right? Mm-hmm. And that's horrible, but it's not, I guess, racist or prejudiced.
Right.
I'm trying to think of why that's okay.
Because there's no lobby that says that child molesters are okay. Right. Well, there is. I guess there is, but not
yeah.
So we're at the Magic Convention.
Yes.
Mox wants to go. Side of American Magicians. I don't usually go to the Magic Conventions.
No, you do not.
But there were a couple reasons. One was they had a gala honoring Johnny Thompson.
Right.
And here's what I realized that just completely flipped me out. It said gala honoring Johnny Thompson, right? At 3:00 in the Houdini room over at the Golden Nugget. And Vinny Grosso, who's in charge of the whole thing. I don't know. I guess he's not president, but he's the big cheese.
He used to be president. He's no longer.
Was there a coup?
Yes. Yeah.
He had the military on his side, but they had the peasants.
He's been hiding out in Lebanon, but he has now come back to the convention.
Vinny told me, and boy, this flipped me out, that they had set up this show with Johnny.
Oh.
Because it hadn't sunk in that Johnny only died in March.
Right.
So he was part of planning this SAM convention.
Oh.
So they had a few people on the bill. And Stephen, say his last name. Bogazzi, who I love. Stephen Bogazzi, first of all, Vinny said he did an introduction, and he showed a program of the first time that Johnny Thompson and Penn and Teller appeared in the same bill. 1976 SAM convention in Philadelphia.
Oh,
It says
wow.
Asparagus Valley Cultural Society of the Great Thompsonian Company. It's where we met, and they have a bill from it. And then he pointed out that Penn and Teller had been thrown out of the Society of American Magicians.
Yes.
And Vinny had found out that we had never been reinstated. We were still blackballed. We're
Right.
not allowed in. So he gave us an official certificate saying we were lifetime members and our dues are paid. And the SAM, and then asked me to come up and say a few words about Johnny. And I went up and said, this really hurts our street cred, having the SAM adopt us, but luckily the Magic Circle still's thrown us out. But fuck them, we're Americans. About 1,000 people in the room. And then I said, Vinny's asked me to say a few words about Johnny. And I said, I'm wearing his bracelet. Fell apart.
Oh.
Even these months later, I couldn't really do 3 minutes
Yeah.
about Johnny without crying. And then they did a wonderful show, Paul V. Hill, a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And then, Stephen
Bogazzi.
Stephen Bogazzi, at the end of the show, did this really, really beautiful thing where he said, the show's run a little long, but all the same, could have all the house lights up, please. It's a ballroom, probably $1,000 in the audience, maybe a few more. And he says, can I just have everybody, if Johnny Thompson kissed you, just stand up, please. Of course, Moxie and I stood up and about 40 other people.
Yeah.
He said, now you guys all stay standing. If Johnny Thompson gave you one-on-one advice on your show that you asked for, that you're still using today, would you stand up? Probably about another 200 people stood up.
Whoa.
He said, if Johnny Thompson ever said, I love you to you, would you stand up? About another 300 people stood up. He said, if you've seen a lecture of Johnny Thompson's in magic that you took something from that's still in your show and helped you with your magic, would you stand up? About another 500 people stood up. He said, if you studied Johnny Thompson's show on video, more than 10 times, would you stand up? Another 200 people stood up. And he said, that's why we're honoring Johnny Thompson. Good night.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty beautiful thing. And also, not only beautiful about Johnny, but boy, that Stephen idea is incredible.
Yes.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
And just,
Yeah.
it was wonderful to see the people do that. And Mox and I standing there very proudly.
Yeah. I mean, in that regard, I don't know who's going to, he had a prolific career with teaching no one,
Yeah.
working with no one, teaching no one.
Yeah.
He would have gone down as one of the greats.
Yeah.
To have this whole other chapter of a man who really just and like a religious quality dedication to helping any.
Paul V. Hill
Yeah.
made a case. He said, I don't think anyone disagrees that Johnny Thompson was the greatest magician of our time.
Right.
Probably of all time.
Yeah.
He said, certainly for knowing every kind of magic.
Yes.
I mean, you got Charlie Miller, who certainly knew more close-up and Di Vernon.
Yeah.
You've got Jim Steinmeier, who knows more about big illusions. But to know everything?
And to just know the keys to approaching that stuff, whether you're doing close-up, parlor, stage, trade shows, whatever. Like he just knew
Everything.
how to do it. And then, but really totally undiscerning, and then just really gave his time to any curiosity.
Well, I'm writing another novel. I wrote Sock.
Yeah.
I'm writing another one called Random. And I'm about halfway through it. And I had a really, really wonderful moment in that world of fiction.
Yeah.
I was saying I wanted, takes place in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I have real people involved. And actually, I enter the book, but I'm not named.
Yeah.
Some asshole magician walks in, and I just say like 2 things and leave. But I was saying, for this move, I want to connect my protagonist from the gambling world to the magic world and back again. Geez, I wish Johnny were. Well, it's my fucking book. Johnny's alive.
Yeah.
So I've been writing chapters with Johnny Thompson interacting in this story. It's really wonderful.
Oh.
And one of the things is complete stranger.
Yeah.
Total cold call. Calls him up and says, I have a question about magic. And Johnny says, come on over. I get a few hours. Come on over. I'll help you. The guy goes, well, I got your number from Piff. He goes, come on over. Which was Johnny.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can find out that you can be that generous. And it's nothing but good. We spend our time guarded that, we have to be careful of this or careful about that. Johnny just said yes to everybody.
Definitely. And in magic, there's such a thing to, one, to guard secrets, two, to claim turf for inventing things or innovating things, And with that kind of, there's a certain bristliness or whatever that comes with that. Johnny was such a force in the opposite direction on that.
But also an absolute force for integrity.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let anybody steal anything but give anybody any information.
Yeah.
It's an incredible combination.
It really was.
I also was backstage, this wonderful guy who did a manip act, cards and stuff from Japan. And Moxie got to see me trying to negotiate the cultural bows and handshakes. We were davening backstage.
Yeah.
Had a lot of trouble with that. Do you have that Japanese thing down, Rennie?
Nope.
Yep. I don't know how many times you're supposed to bow. He bows to you, you bow back. It seems like then you're done.
The problem is it's different for the person. There's a respect level that you have to know about the other person. And that's the part that I always mess up.
Because he bowed. I shook his hand. Then he bowed again. And then I bowed awkwardly. Then he bowed again. And I bowed awkwardly. Then he bowed again. Then I shook his hand again. Then he bowed again. And then I bowed again. And then he bowed again. And then, thank goodness, someone said, hey, I'm going to send a picture to Doc Swan. I want to send a picture to Doc Swan. And I went, fuck you. And stuck my finger up. They took a picture of that to send to Doc Swan. And so then I turned back to the Japanese magician who bowed again with a quizzical expression on his face, like, why'd you just turn and give a rude gesture to someone you didn't know was taking a picture? Maybe I should bow twice. Then I decided I'll stop bowing. So he bowed twice. I didn't bow. Then we just stood there. So I bowed again. Then he bowed again. What was going on, Rennie?
You're at the higher level of respect. You have to stop first. He's got to keep going.
So we could have been there forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that really true?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was supposed to happen was if he perceived me at the higher level of respect, which he certainly bombed cars better than me, then he would bow, I would bow back, he'd bow once more, and we're done. So I would bow once and be done. He would bow on either side of my bow.
Keep in mind that this is Penn Sunday School, and we're wrong about everything.
Yeah.
I thought bow, handshake. We've covered everything, right?
Fist bump.
We didn't do the bro hug.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you think like bow, handshake, you're done? Bow, handshake, have your new bowl?
But you kept going.
No. Bow, handshake, he bows. And then I bowed. Then he bowed again, and I bowed again. Then I shook his hand again. By shaking his hand was my way of saying, we're in the United States of America. This is what we do.
We're done with this shit.
Yeah. And Moxie, a 14-year-old girl learning to see her father interact in different situations, was saying, why is why is Daddy doing this weird bow thing? Because, you would think that a 64-year-old man who had been to Japan a couple times would be able to navigate the simple social. Then he gave me his business card in a very kind of ceremonial way. And I put it in my back pocket. And then afterwards, I went, I should have done something else. What am I going to do, frame it there in front of him? I don't have a business card. I don't know what, I almost gave him a 20.
Ceremonially give him a 20.
Yeah, here's the deal we'll make. $20 says, you stop bowing, you stop shaking your hand, you stop handing me shit. Go out, get yourself a cup of coffee, piece of pie, it's on me.
Yeah, who loves you?
He was good. He was not at the grading thing.
Yeah.
But his act was very good.
Oh, good.
Another guy did do you like hand shadows?
Yeah.
I like hand shadows. You like hand shadows, Reddy?
Nah.
You don't like hand shadows?
I like Max.
Does Mac do? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like hand shadows. We did a bit with hand shadows on our show, which I want to put on Fool Us, and they won't let us because it involves me being hanged.
Oh.
And it's hard to get the rigging. It's really the reason. But it's a gag with using the Unicorn song by Shel Silverstein, or actually by the Irish Rovers. You know the Unicorn song?
No.
A long time ago when the earth was green.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And Teller just hand shadows to that. And the gag ends up with him accidentally hanging me to death. That's comedy for Penn and Teller. And Teller learned hand shadows, and it made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
Humpty-back camels and the chimpanzees was really funny. But this guy was good.
So Teller shares your affinity for hand shadows.
Yeah. We both we have affinity for hand shadows, trouble wit, and shipography. And we might get trouble wit finally into our show. Do you know what trouble wit is?
I don't remember.
You know what trouble wit is?
No.
Trouble wit is a large piece of paper. Okay? Giant piece of paper, rather stiff paper, that's folded in accordion fashion. Folded in many ways. So you can then pull it to different pieces and make it look like different things. Looks like a barbell, a wedding cake. It can look like a bow tie. I'm talking about 3 feet, 4 feet across.
Yeah.
This big white thing. And then you tell a story, and your trouble wit, this is a bathtub for a midget, this is a wedding cake, you have jokes in there of your one thing that you make look at different things. So when we were working on Magic Goes Wrong, we said you got to do a trouble wit thing. And then Teller and I, with great glee, go online, look up trouble wit. C.J. Marshall does the trouble wit, and all the English guys say, no.
No, we don't have to do that.
There's 3 of us, 2 of you. We're not doing it. And then when Teller and I are in our writing sessions, not a week goes by that one of us doesn't say, what about trouble wit in this? The other one goes, yeah. And then, no. And then you know what shipography is, right?
Yeah.
Shipography, for those who don't know, is you have a felt donut.
Yeah.
That you then wear to make different hats.
Yes.
And the only person I've ever seen do it is Doc Swan.
Yeah.
And Doc Swan destroys me with it. Makes me laugh so hard because Doc Swan does the actual routine from like the 30s when shipography was popular. So he does the Napoleon hat and now I'm a peasant girl, now I'm a Mexican, and it destroys me. So trouble wit comes up every week. Shipography comes up every 3 weeks.
Right.
But both of them, I will tell you, Matt Donnelly, you should be doing in your show.
And 2 outnumber 1 on mine. So I have to do it. Right?
Don't you think you should do shipography?
I'd be interested to see it.
If you had a trouble wit routine, I would die.
Yes.
I'd be going to every one of your shows. I would never, ever miss a show. I'd be like the Scoop hardcore fan.
That'd be me every night going to whoever my house manager be, and I'd be like, is Penn in tonight? Yeah. Okay. Put trouble wit in. Take out.
Then you'd walk out on stage, you'd hear, trouble wit, trouble wit. And you'd be going, no, man, I'm going to do some new material. You know what I mean? We're not just gonna do the hits. We're gonna do trouble with.
All right,
No.
fine.
Okay, good. Okay, this is a bathtub for a midget. And I'm aware before you write in that
Yes.
the little person is the proper word.
Yeah.
But I'm using the word that's actually in the description of trouble wit when you're learning it. But we're gonna talk about this and more later. But for right now, that was. Oh, you're gonna walk over there?
I gotta walk over there.
Do you have your Funkin' ring on? That was Penn Sunday School.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha cha cha.
And to our listening
You become naked.
nature sang and round us rang the music of the spheres. And was Penn Sunday
Hey, Matt Donnelly, is your mic okay there?
I'm gonna get to wind it.
You're gonna wind it. I'm setting you up here.
know.
The mic okay? Because you know the show's about over.
I know.
I want to make sure the mic's all right.
Yeah, because we have another show coming up, right?
Yeah. Just want to make sure that mic. The cord looks a little frayed to me.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure.
Oh Jesus! You okay?
Oh, my gosh.
You okay?
Oh,
I don't
man.
know if we'll be able to do the show on Wednesday. Are you all right? Are you all right?
I am alarmed.
You know we love you.
So if she didn't have a sister, why
Shut
would you
up!
be calling her?